Today I will be doing page 236, number 1. The question is, two balls collide in a perfectly elastic collision. Ball 1 has a mass of 3.5 kilograms and is initially traveling at a velocity of 5.4 meters per second to the right. It collides head-on with a stationary ball 2 with mass 4.8 kilograms. Determine the final velocity of ball 2. So first we start off with the givens. We know mass 1 is 3.5 kilograms and is initially traveling at 5.4 meters per second to the right. We also know mass 2 is 4.8 kilograms and is initially traveling at 0 meters per second, is stationary. And we're going to look for v2 prime, which is the final velocity of the second ball. So let's analyze the question real quick. Because it mentions that it's a perfectly elastic collision, we will know that kinetic energy and momentum are both conserved. This will help us solve the problem. To begin our solution, we set right as a positive direction, and we will begin by using the conservation of momentum, using the equation m1v1 plus m2v2 equals m1v1 prime plus m2v2 prime. We sub in all our givens and we get a final equation of 5.4 minus 1.37 v2 prime equals v1 prime. That is equation number 1. So we can continue by using conservation of kinetic energy. So we know that kinetic energy is 1/2 mv squared, but to make our equation look simpler and cleaner, we're going to multiply it by 2, giving us m1v1 squared plus m2v2 squared equals m1v1 prime squared plus m2v2 prime squared. And then we sub in our givens, and we're given 3.5 times 5.4 squared equals 3.5 v1 prime squared plus m2 v2 prime squared. That's equation number 2. Now that we have two equations, we can sub them into each other to solve for v2 prime. So we're going to sub equation 1 into equation 2. And after we sub all our givens in and we expand entirely, we're left with an equation 0 equals 11.38 v2 prime squared minus 51.8 v2 prime. And once we use the quadratic equation to solve, we come to find that v2 prime equals 4.55 meters per second and v2 prime equals 0. We can reject the 0 because the velocity is not 0, so we're going to take 4.55 as the final velocity. Therefore, the final velocity of the second ball is 4.6 meters per second to the right.